All right, welcome in to episode number 15 of Shippy and Grubes. I'm Shippy.
I'm Grubes.
And shout out to Bart Starr. That's
Oh.
the only number 15 I can think of.
Gerald Laird with the Texas Rangers.
Wow.
One man, 5 tools.
What?
That was a bit.
Was
that
it?
was literally what he said about himself.
One man, 5 tools?
Yeah, you know, in baseball, there's like the 5 tools.
Five-tool player.
Hit for average, hit for power, speed, arm,
Defense.
defense. Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Well,
So this is the Gerald Laird episode.
and Bart Starr. And speaking of Bart, we'll talk about how Bart Simpson is screwing over the NFL
Oh, yeah.
eventually. We're also going to talk about Red 1, which we saw last week.
Heck yeah.
Have you seen the Penguin season series?
I have.
All right, so we're going to talk about the Penguin, too. I forgot to check with you on that.
Yeah, that's okay.
But first, the good news is the Cowboys lost. We're Team Tank now. And
Might as well be their season finale.
the best news, though, is that the moon did not interfere with anybody's vision.
No, but Jerry might still need to tear the damn thing down.
Yep, the roof fell apart. Pre-game, there was a giant piece of sheet metal that fell from the rafters, which is not close to the ground. So,
No.
fortunately, it didn't hit anybody.
It looked like it nearly got one dude.
It was pretty close to
Yeah.
like a production crew, or there was like production people in the area. I think they said they were rehearsing the alumni Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders
Oh,
performance
yeah.
they had yesterday. Like they had over 250 alumni come back and dance, so they were rehearsing that. And then this giant piece of sheet metal fell from the sky.
Man.
Didn't hurt anybody, thank God. But it just seems like nothing can go right for the Cowboys these days. And like you said, Jerry really should consider just tearing the whole damn thing down
Yeah.
and
like,
building a stadium that faces north-south.
maybe. Ooh, that
You
would
know?
be good.
Because we do know where the sun
Yeah.
rises and sets now.
But where is the moon?
I did see it last night leaving the American Airlines Center after
Oh.
the Stars unfortunately lost to the Ducks.
Yeah.
I saw it, but I don't know if you could see it in Arlington or not.
I don't know either. But yeah, it was just funny seeing all the big hype before the game about, yeah, the roof and the windows are going to be open. It's going to be a beautiful night. And
Yeah.
then like an hour and a half before the game, all of a sudden you see all these tweets about, well, the roof is breaking, so we're going to close it.
Yeah, they said you don't see this often. Now we're seeing the roof close back up.
Yeah.
Then they closed the doors too, because I think at first they said they were going to have the doors open.
Oh, yeah.
Seems like they couldn't make up their mind on what they wanted.
Right. It's a whole thing.
But yeah, that fell off, and I was talking with Jonathan Monet, who works with the
Oh, yeah.
Stars. He was texting and said that because it was really windy yesterday,
Right.
and so apparently when they opened the roof, it was blowing all the towels that they leave on people's chairs to wave. It was blowing them all over the place onto the field and stuff, and the wind was what dislodged some things in
Man.
the roof, which then led to one piece falling all the way to the ground. And then I saw Bobby Belt tweet, and there was like another piece of sheet metal just hanging in the rafters.
Yeah, and they had to send some dude up with a drill to maybe try to tamp it down or something. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little scary that, I know it was windy yesterday, but it wasn't that crazy.
No.
And so I don't know if it's just the timing of with, wind gust and a certain time of the roof opening or where in the process that was. Like, I don't know if the roof had been open for a while or
Yeah.
anything like that. But yeah, that's a little scary.
It is a little scary, as most things are that have to do with the Cowboys these days.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, thankfully nobody got hurt. Hopefully they are going to take a look at the roof now. The American Airlines Center had a roof problem a couple seasons ago that they fixed. That was weird. We were in the Western Conference Final against the Golden State Warriors, and we had to postpone like the second half of the game, like game 3 or something, because of a rain delay. We're in an arena.
It was a little weird. And like, I remember I, at the time, was living right next to the AAC. And I can't remember if it was still during the playoffs or it was, right after the playoffs ended. But all of a sudden, there's like helicopters, hovering over the AAC because they're like, dropping down the, materials needed to, cover the roof and fix it. And
That's what was
all
happening during that delay?
I mean, not during that delay.
Oh, I was like,
That would have been pretty awesome, though.
Like, hold on, guys. We can start the second half once the helicopters drop the new roof on.
I mean, with Mark Cuban, you never know. He could have called him, and especially having the Adelmans now, like,
oh yeah,
they could have made it happen.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I definitely sympathize with the roof issues, during a game. It wasn't really that important of a game, although the Texans took it very important. You could tell they.
Golly.
So this is the thing that I really hate the most about losing the Texans. I mean, I hate losing anyways. Anytime like any of my teams lose, it sucks. But like Houston, this was their Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And like have you seen the tweet? They said the look out below, and they make the L out of the sheet metal.
Yes.
And it's from the same picture that I think John Machota took.
I believe so.
Where it's that same angle and everything.
Because, like the Houston Texans Twitter X account went hard last night.
Dude, they were going I was just catching up on their tweets trying to find that one. And like and during the post-game, interviews, they were talking to I can't remember who it was from the Texans, but they were talking to him about like, hey, the Dallas-Houston rivalry, and he was like, yeah, some of them were talking crazy, like, we're a little bro. Like, we're not little bro. Yes, you are.
Right.
It doesn't matter how bad the Cowboys are. The Texans are always little bro. Sometimes little bro wins a fight every once in a while.
Yeah.
You catch him on a bad day.
But the Cowboys are still the Cowboys.
And
they're still the $5 billion, $15 billion franchise.
Yeah.
Whatever the heck they are. Like, insane numbers.
If the Cowboys were to do the same thing in Houston, it's just another game for the Cowboys.
Right.
It's just, hey, we beat Houston. Like, is it a little bit sweeter? Sure.
Yeah, we get the Governor's Cup or whatever.
Yeah, but we're not, I mean, they took over, like, I noticed that Troy Aikman was talking about how all the Cowboys fans had left, and it was only Texans fans left in the stadium, and they were just all going crazy, like, and when I was on the Cowboys drumline like 5 seasons ago, this is what I was going to get to, is that a preseason game where this was when Romo was still around, and like this was probably 2013 or 2014, and we lost a preseason game to the Texans.
Yes.
And when I was leaving on the Cowboys drumline, there were all these Texans fans talking trash to me about a preseason win.
Hey,
that's little bro syndrome.
That is very little bro syndrome. But hey, when you're the little bro, you got to enjoy your victories when you get them,
That's true. That's true. I've never been a little bro.
No, I'm a big bro.
I'm a big bro, too.
But my little brother's about half a foot taller than me, so I might as well be the little bro.
Yeah, but you're still big bro.
Right. I'm still more famous.
Exactly. So.
But he's more successful.
Huh? What?
What?
Monday Night Football decided to have some fun with the Cowboys as well.
Oh, yeah.
And a pregame, like, graphic video thing where basically they're just poking fun at the Cowboys.
The football will come. Well, there's been no place like home for the Cowboys over the previous 2 seasons. 16-1 record, outscoring their opponents by almost 16 points per game, both best in the NFL. But the curtains have slammed shut this season. Cheap shuttle. 0-4 at home, outscored by an NFL worst 24 points per game here at home. It is beautiful. This is their 16th year with AT&T Stadium as their home stadium, but so far it has been no good.
It's like it fits the moment. Like
sometimes you have to go with the obvious choice.
Right. And like so with that, and then the curtains shutting after CD drops that ball, and then they come out to a live shot of the issue where that they won't cover those damn end zones.
It's just so good.
Everybody's just piling on the Cowboys right now. And CeeDee Lamb mentioned that after the game. He's like, people are trying to embarrass us now because we were really good for the last 3 seasons. And it just seems more like the whole team, even from Jerry Jones down, like everybody's just kind of like, all right, yeah.
We get it.
Dak was right. We suck.
Yeah.
We suck.
But yeah, the resignation of just knowing, like, what can we do? There's a little bit of defiance maybe in the losses the last 2 to 3 weeks of, we're still the Cowboys, blah, blah, blah. But now I think it's just like, what can we do? We're done.
And it's kind of like, I think it's just kind of everybody's just trying to get to the end of the season at this point.
Yeah.
Go make your money.
Yeah.
Go home or go out to the club, whatever you want to do.
Right. Deal with, Coach McCarthy for another 7 games or whatever. And,
yeah.
He knows he's a dead man walking, but sounds like Jerry still is just going to keep him around till the end.
That's the weirdest thing, how they refuse to fire coaches. Like, the same thing happened with Jason Garrett. They just let the contract run out, and then they hired Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
I
think Jerry said, the only one he's ever fired was Wade Phillips in the middle of the season? Is that right? It helped that they had Garrett, but even then, Jerry says that he regrets that. He never really explains why.
And it doesn't make sense. Why not get a head start and see if, I don't really think that there's anybody on this Cowboys staff that they want as the next head coach.
And I think that's probably part of it, but, they at least have Mike Zimmer,
right.
He's done it before. He might not be the greatest fit, but, run out the last few games of the season and at least show, the fans. And it feels like such a generic thing, show the fans that you're putting in an effort, but, dude, after last night, I know that there were still some Cowboys fans around because you could still hear and feel the just anxiety, the tension, and just the hate watching that every Cowboys fan still in the building was doing.
Yeah.
But man, having your place overrun by Texans fans and even at the beginning of the game, I think it was Jane Slater posted a picture from about 5 minutes into the game, and there was a bunch of empty seats, and some of that's always going to be the case because people are going to concession stand and all that, and
the traffic can be pretty bad, especially when that's the one game, the one thing going on.
Right.
That's the thing with AT&T Stadium is it sucks getting in and getting out. I would go to more Cowboys games if it wasn't such a nightmare, just to get in and then even just to get around the stadium. There's certain sections you have to go up to the 400s
right,
just to come down the other side because you can't walk through this one little area.
No.
I'm like, dude.
That's where all the people are having their caviar and stuff.
Save some for me.
Mm-mm.
No?
No.
No caviar for me?
No.
Oh. Well, no Monday Night Football flex for ESPN. Man. They've been looking, as you do at this point of the season, you flex different games, you switch them around, whatever. These teams suck. We're going to move them out of primetime. We're going to move these 2 good teams back into primetime. We didn't see them being good, but here we are. And so Bengals and Cowboys is a Monday Night Football game coming up, and they cannot be flexed for the most incredible reason, which I didn't know was happening. Now this is the most excited I've been for a Cowboys game all season.
I'd heard a little bit about this, but tell the people.
This is from Jay Morrison, @ByJayMorrison. Pretty good Twitter thing. Yeah. For those asking, the Bengals-Cowboys Monday Night Football game is not eligible to be flexed out because of all the drawings, voiceovers, and other work that has been done for The Simpsons altcast that will air that night.
Yep. That's where we're at. Really, it's the Cowboys, so realistically, they probably wouldn't get flexed no matter what. I can't think of a time they've ever been flexed, but even...
This would be the one time.
Yeah,
but I saw... down bad.
They are down bad for sure, but I saw an article a week or so ago that one of the questions was, would the Cowboys ever get flexed? And the answer is pretty much no. Even if, say they had an opportunity to put a Chiefs game on or something like that, a dynasty essentially. It's no, there's either the diehard, Cowboys fans, in Dallas. Mm-hmm. There's the people all over the U.S. that still root for the Cowboys no matter what. And then there's all the people that hate watch the Cowboys, that want to see them lose. Yeah. And right now, the getting's good for that.
Oh, my God.
So I don't think they realistically would have gotten flexed. But the fact that one of the roadblocks to them not getting flexed right now is a Simpsons altcast because too many people have put in work animating and voicing over and all that, and they can't scrap any of it. That's hilarious.
Dude, I'm really excited for this. I didn't know that this was happening until I saw this tweet. And so... basically, Simpsons characters are going to be taking part in the game thanks to state-of-the-art technology. And they do this with, Nickelodeon, right?
Yeah,
they
have SpongeBob and
those are great. Dude, I've tuned into those.
They're fun.
They're a lot of fun. it's, they score a touchdown and then there's slime going all over the place.
Right.
So here's a little kid reporter talking to, I don't know, Cooper Rush.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
That would be a great interview.
Yeah. Now you got Bart Simpson talking to Cooper Rush potentially.
Yeah, so I'm interested, is Krusty the Clown going to be in there?
Probably.
Are they going to have, because I've seen the Nickelodeon ones. I'm just so interested now. The Simpsons, have they done the Simpsons one before?
Not that I'm aware of.
One?
But yeah, and it's just there's so many characters and I mean it's the Simpsons writers, so I'd like to think there's gonna be some pretty decent jokes made, potentially at the Cowboys' expense.
Oh my God.
And all that. Where I'm curious to see how it goes, but man, they are not being given a lot to work with really right now with. Like, how funny can you make this when, you still have the NFL owners that, like Jerry.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, we agreed to this, but I don't want my team, burned at the stake the whole time.
I don't know if Jerry cares.
Yeah, I mean, he is any publicity is good publicity, but good gosh.
I think, and it's people are already getting their jokes in about the Cowboys as it is.
So might as well let some professionals handle it and. Man, but yeah, I'm definitely going to be watching the Altcast.
Yeah, I need to figure out what night that is, and hopefully I don't work, because I will watch the Simpsons Altcast 1,000%. I guess will it be on ESPN, just replacing the Peyton show or something?
I guess. I didn't really do my research on this, but
they can't replace the Manning cast
unless it's maybe on
good.
Well, wait, if it's Simpsons, it's Fox, so
right,
maybe on FX or something.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll get back to you.
We'll have to
America.
get back to you guys on that, America.
And the world. We love all.
We sure do. We love all the countries.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think, right?
As far as
As far as I know. I don't know about Antarctica. I don't really know what goes on down there.
A lot of shady stuff.
Yeah. And if you watched Red 1, it looks pretty fun, actually. I might be down to check it out. We'll get into a Red 1 here in a minute. But another thing that everybody was excited for, the whole world, America and all that, was they were looking forward to Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul.
Man.
Did you watch it?
I did not. I saw a little bit of highlights. I saw the aftermath, but man, that was all the hype leading up to it. I really thought that Tyson had a chance, and not so much.
Yeah, so apparently when he was competitive in the fight was the first 2 rounds. And
he basically got gassed.
Yeah, my Netflix buffered for the first 2 rounds, so I didn't get to see the first 2 rounds. Whenever it finally started working, it was round 3.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people complaining. Complaining about
cool.
Netflix, and now I see that the NFL is worried about, they've got a couple games
on Christmas
Day.
So you got Chiefs, Steelers, and Ravens, Texans on Christmas Day. And you're just hoping that Netflix's servers don't do what they did during the Paul Tyson fight, because that was very frustrating to try to watch.
It sounds like that was pretty brutal. So, yeah, I know NFL executives are all kind of clenching their bottoms right now.
They sure
are they going to have good enough, servers, or do we need more internet cables? What are we going to do?
I wonder what would be the heavier trafficked sporting event, those 2 Christmas Day games or Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. You think there's going to be more eyeballs on football, or were there more on the boxing?
Man, do we know how many were actually watching the boxing? Sorry to
I don't know.
ask while we're talking, but I feel like the assumption is NFL, but I feel like Mike Tyson and Jake Paul are such big names, at least for the bit.
So this, it was watched by 60 million households.
Good gosh. Okay.
Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
So yeah, they might beat the NFL.
That's a lot, dude.
Yeah, I was going to say, so that can definitely explain why they were having trouble. I can't imagine Netflix has put out a whole lot of other stuff that would come close to that, all being watched in one at the same time.
Yeah, but I wonder too, it's so available. Everybody pretty much has Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder. I'd be interested to see the Chiefs, Steelers, and Ravens, Texans on Christmas Day. They could outdo 60 million. I think.
It's possible, but man, that's just such a huge number.
That's a lot of it's a lot of households,
right? So the issues make sense for the streaming.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people are typically watching Netflix at any given time, but I seriously doubt it's 60 million, like even combined.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the
like
first
across
time.
all programming.
Well, I guess they've done like the live Joe Rogan comedy thing, and they've done a couple.
Yeah,
other
the roast
live...
of Tom Brady, I believe.
that was live.
Yeah,
but this was the like the most prestigious, like the biggest names. You know, you're bringing Mike Tyson back as a, basically a senior citizen to fight a 27-year-old or however old Jake
I think that's
Paul
about
is.
right. Yeah.
But as bad as the fight was. The pre-fight interview of Mike Tyson and this little kid, I mean, was by far my favorite part of the whole event.
And he's kind of right, too.
He's very right, and we'll talk about our king on this show after this.
Yes.
But we'll go ahead and just preface this. If you don't want to hear any cuss words, you should skip the next minute of this broadcast.
Sorry, children.
Well, in your return to the ring for this fight, you are setting a monumental opportunity for kids my age to see the legend Mike Tyson in the ring for the first time. So after such a successful career, what type of legacy would you like to leave behind when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know. I don't believe in the word legacy. I just think that's another word for ego. Legacy doesn't mean nothing. That's just some word everybody grabbed onto. Someone said that word and everyone grabbed on the word, so now it's used every 5 seconds. It means absolutely nothing to me. I'm just passing through. I'm going to die, and it's going to be over. Who cares about a legacy after that? What a big ego. So I'm going to die. I want people to think that I'm this, I'm great. No, we're nothing. We're just dead. We're dust. We're absolutely nothing. Our legacy is nothing.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. That is something that I have not heard before, someone say that as an answer.
Can you really imagine somebody say, I want my legacy to be this way when you're dead? Why do you want somebody, you think somebody really wants to think about you? What's the audacity? I think, I want people to think about me when I'm gone. Who the fuck cares about me when I'm gone? Well, my kids, maybe, or grandkids.
That's true.
By the way, the reporter handled that amazingly.
Oh, my God. She goes... What'd she say? She goes, you're right, true.
Yeah, can't really argue with it, but man, like that got existential really quick.
Really quick.
That took a really hard turn.
And what, she's like 12 maybe? 13?
Probably something like that. But she's doing a great job. She's asking a great question and, just probably expecting like, I hope, like at the least, you might expect like, well, the boxing side doesn't really matter. I just hope my family remembers me as a great dad or whatever, and he might not be, but maybe that's why he leans in that way. But just going right to the, hey, we're all gonna be dead and I'll be gone, so think whatever you want about me.
He's like, yeah, I don't really care.
Yeah.
And like she's here like all excited because she's interviewing Mike Tyson.
Yeah, it's
legend.
a big opportunity for her. And
she's wide-eyed. Like, she's wearing her Fendi shirt. She's looking good, and then like Mike Tyson's like, yeah, none of this stuff matters.
Yeah, who the F cares? And
good luck to you in the rest of your career. Whenever it's over, it's over. You die, and that's it. Nobody's going to remember you except for maybe your family. And she's like, oh, all right. Thank you, Mr. Tyson, for your time. So
man, that's a heck of a fun way to debut as a reporter. Being told that you're going to die at some point, it won't matter.
And just being reminded as like a kid, like when you're really not thinking about that at all, like
right.
She's
well
from like entering the prime of her career, and she's doing great. Like I don't know,
but she's still probably excited to get a Happy Meal right after,
Exactly. Like exactly. And then here's Mike Tyson just telling her, yeah, by the way, we all die and
right,
just dust.
Yeah, I wasn't asking for a nihilistic meal.
Did you? Yeah, but there's our nihilistic minute.
There you go.
The episode. So
that's 2 now.
Yeah, that's 2 of them.
You're welcome, everybody.
So shout out to Joe Mazzulla and Mike Tyson. I've got one more piece of audio I wanted to show you from Mike Tyson because it was hilarious. It was the best part about the post-fight interview. The post-fight interview was awful. Like, it really did him no favors in terms of not making it look like just a money grab or just a PR thing. And Jake Paul gave this long, like, speech about how he's such a legend, and he was right, obviously, but it was just like, dude, you guys just wanted money, like,
right.
And then they talked to Mike Tyson, and during the fight, he was biting his glove.
Oh,
so they asked him about that.
The broadcast team was debating what you were doing with your glove. Was it a mouthpiece issue, or were you just biting on your glove? What was that? Could you tell us?
Oh, I have a habit of biting my gloves when I fight, yes.
Why do you do that?
I have a biting fixation.
I've heard about that. I don't want to know more.
She said, I have a biting fixation.
And you can hear everybody laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how he reacted after. It would be funny if he was like, why is everybody laughing?
Dude, yeah, right.
What's funny?
No, and you were talking too about like this being his last fight.
Mm-hmm.
They asked him about that in the post-fight interview as well. And he was like, yeah, I don't know, I might not be done. Like, he was kind of like going back and forth. And if you watch the fight, you're like, dude, there's no way. Like, take your $20 million and maybe invest a little bit of it, take a nice vacation. I don't know what else he needs. He's already like so rich, but
Yeah.
like he was kind of like debating going back and forth on if he'd fight again. And then afterwards, like the next day, he tweeted about like, yeah, that'll be my last fight. Like, you could tell his like PR team got a hold of his account, and he's already talking like, yeah, so that'll be it for me. Thank you for, all the support. And he actually, I don't know if you saw this too. He tweeted that he talking about the fight, about how he almost died back in June.
Yes.
And so he tweeted, and a lot of people like were going back and forth, just saying, hey, like, as disappointing as it was, like, it's pretty impressive that at 58 or whatever he is, that he got in the ring with Jake Paul.
Yeah, made it back well enough to at least be competitive for a little bit. And that does kind of put it in a different frame of, he obviously was trying his best, I think, to get back that quickly, all things considered, because what did he say? He had like 8 blood transfusions or something?
Yeah, so he said this is one of those situations, and this is the tweet I was just talking about where you could tell like he's like in the ring one last time, and you tell like, you're like, no, this is it, guys. Like, he said this is one of those situations where you lost but still won. I'm grateful for last night. No regrets to get in the ring one last time. I almost died in June. I had 8 blood transfusions, lost half my blood and 25 pounds in the hospital, and had to fight to get healthy to fight, so I won. To have my children see me stand toe-to-toe and finish 8 rounds with a talented fighter half my age in front of a packed Dallas Cowboys stadium is an experience that no man has the right to ask for. Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's like one of those things where, I mean, yeah, if you're looking at it through his lens, like, yeah, it was a successful fight.
Yeah.
If you were one of the people who paid all that money to go see the fight,
it sucks.
It probably sucked. I mean, the fights before apparently were pretty good. I didn't get to see those because I was working, but apparently the two fights, I believe, before were really good. So hopefully, people took some solace in the fact that they got to see that. They were like, okay, well, at least we got to see 2 good fights. But
and who knows? Maybe boxing makes a little bit of a comeback too. It feels like it's been kind of trending downward for a while, but
yeah,
it was really popular when I was a kid, I remember, and it just feels like it's been a pretty steady to strong decline for a long time. So maybe this at least gets people a little bit interested in it again, and that could be considered a win. Maybe.
I'm definitely more interested in UFC, I think. Like, I watched the fights on Saturday night, John Jones, and then I can't remember who the other fighters were. I don't really know, the terminology of the names or anything. I've gotten to the point now where I like to flip it on. I'm starting to learn about everybody.
You got to start somewhere.
But I really enjoyed those. Like, I mean, you could tell it's just totally different, right? With basically Jake Paul's whole setup.
Yeah.
And then like the actual UFC, like there's just no comparing the two. But I mean, hopefully boxing makes a comeback. It was funny when they brought up Jake Paul fighting Canelo. Like, he was real confident, and then they brought up Canelo, and he was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, you could tell he had that moment where he's like,
you kind of got to know your limits, so I think he knows his.
And I would very much support that fight. Like, that would be fun. Like,
right. Like, if you're going to do it, do it.
Like, fight somebody who is your age that, is in shape like you, that isn't, just totally done with boxing and almost just died in June.
Yeah, ideally, no near-death experiences.
And hey, if Jake Paul's looking for a challenger, Micah Parsons tweeted during the fight, F that, Jake, let's go 8 rounds. I just had to bring it up because he can't stay out of it.
I know. Like, what did we talk about last week? He's got main character syndrome?
Yes, he's got to be involved in everything.
Yeah.
Like, I'll do it, I'll do this, I'll do this.
Right.
I'm like, dude, like, can just Can we just focus on one thing? I mean, I know this year really, it's not really worth focusing on, but
Yeah, so might as well have some hobbies or something, I guess.
I guess.
Jeez.
Did you see that Dwight Howard challenged Shaq to a fight?
Man, and Shaq hates Dwight Howard.
So they both have hated each other for a while because of the whole Superman thing. Like,
Right.
Dwight Howard wore the Superman cape for the dunk contest, and they were battling over that nickname, basically.
It's just so weird because Shaq's given himself like 18 different nicknames.
You can't have them
Superman is the most unoriginal.
all. Right.
It's like it's not the like if Dwight was calling himself the big Aristotle, I think I saw someone on Reddit say that. Like that would be different.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, if it's just, hey, Superman's kind of awesome and kind of popular, and yeah, maybe I'm trying to emulate Shaq a little bit. We're both like 7-foot tall centers, or strong,
and play for the Lakers.
and play for the Lakers. But
yeah,
it's like, yeah, otherwise, let's kind of calm down here.
yeah. Well, Dwight Howard tweeted him during the fight and said, "Shaq, what's up? Let's make bread." And Shaq responded and said, "Gotta have more than one ring to get in the ring with me. I'll stick with a real champion like Rob Gronkowski, and you can have the Superman belt. All yours, buddy."
Jeez.
Like, I don't understand. I mean, I guess I kind of get it, right? Like, was Dwight Howard, I guess, going after like Shaq in terms of like he was supposed to be the next Shaq with the Lakers? Is that kind of how?
Yeah, like there's the comparisons, and I'm sure Shaq was his idol and all that, and that probably did inspire the Superman bit. But Shaq is awesome, but he also seems to be really sensitive to any center that's really good, and just anyone that doesn't have rings.
Yeah,
and even if they have one, it's still not enough potentially, depending on how much he wants to move the goalpost to throw him under the bus.
right.
So
It seems
it's a weird thing.
It seems very much like once he retired and it was like Dwight Howard was maybe becoming the new him, like that's what made Shaq upset. Like, no, there's only one me. And like, it seems like it just kind of started out of nowhere, out of thin air. I'd have to do more research on if like somebody actually took shots at one or the other. And I think it all stemmed from inside the NBA, which by the way, we got the good news that it's going to be moving over to ESPN, and Shaq right now is the only one who's not under contract for that. They're expecting the deal to get done, but like...
Yeah, but then Shaq did tweet out something like, hey, it's not done yet, so,
right.
Beware. And it's leverage.
Yeah.
Which, I don't blame him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to get a new deal done, because I guess he signed his deal separately than the rest of the
Yeah, and I believe they all have
crew.
Separate deals in some way, but yeah, it's, Shaq likes to create drama, I think. And,
yeah.
It's all about keeping your name out there, I guess.
Yeah. So the good news is that...
What if I had just started doing that when you took over the Stars gig from me?
Oh my God, dude.
You might think you can do this, but have you done a Nickelback night? Or
what's so funny is like other people will like bring that up and just naturally like one way or the other,
Sure.
right? Like, and it's just like, dude, like you moved on to be the Rangers DJ.
Yeah.
I just was fortunate to be able to slide in and get the Stars job.
I wanted you to have the job.
Right. And it was just like...
And it's turned out great.
Yeah,
and you're my friend.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I've seen that, from other jobs, coming towards me as well of like, Jeff K was better or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I kind of was.
Well,
but, it's just whoever's got the job at the time, you do your best. And it's like, and then the next person will probably take some elements that, fit or work or whatever. And then you got to evolve the thing. And it's like, no one wants just a carbon copy of the previous person. And
right.
I left of my own accord. So that's just how it goes. And it's obviously a little different thing with the Shaq and Dwight Howard stuff. Cause we're friends.
We're friends. Yeah.
That helps. But even then, like, yeah, some people just, have to compare and all that. And, I think Shaq I did see something where I think Shaq kind of realizes, but will never admit that even as good as he was, as great as he was, there was some potential that wasn't reached because he wanted to, enjoy the celebrity status, the fame and hamburgers and whatever. And so he kind of, I think, has to try to knock other people down to try to keep himself built up. And it comes out especially in ways like that with Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and and going back to like the thing between you and me, like what a lot of people don't understand is like we had different bosses too.
That's definitely a difference.
Like,
yeah.
The reason that Stars games like have evolved or like changed the way they have is because of like bosses. Like yesterday, and this is like what people don't understand is you're not getting mad. Like everybody has a boss, right? We're all trying to please and everything. And like people were blaming me yesterday, saying that I jinxed the Stars last night because before the game, it was brought up like, hey, we might font the Cowboys score. Just to keep everybody up to date with what's going on with the Cowboys and the Texans. And I was like, are you sure we want to do that? I was like, if it's good or bad, and they're like, yeah, either way, what does it matter? And like, I just jokingly was like, well, yeah, you better font it like at the very beginning of the game before they have a chance to be losing. Well, we actually did it.
Oh, really?
So like this, like the second whistle of the game, they're like, all right, we're ready. We're gonna throw up the score, and I was like, oh, like we're actually doing this.
Yeah.
And so I played Weedham Boys and it showed up 0-0, 15 minutes left in the first quarter. And then the Stars got scored on right after that, like 2 seconds later. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was like, I already know. Like, my Twitter is going to say you jinxed the Cowboys. And sure enough, like, a couple people were accusing me of that. And then on Facebook, people were tagging me and stuff. I'm just like, dude, I like it wasn't my choice to do that.
And that happens, teams like, do that all throughout.
Yeah.
If there's another team playing at the same time, then it's not unusual to, post a score, especially when it comes to football. But
right.
Yeah, and in the end it's, I would occasionally respond to people with, jinxes aren't real.
Right.
But after a while it just becomes like, all right, just ignore, like
that's
it doesn't matter either way. We're all gonna die,
True.
So who cares?
And I'm under the same thing of you. Is like, dude, us showing that had nothing to do with
right. It's coincidence.
Of the
it's
soft goal that happened right afterwards.
Yeah.
Does it suck that the timing? Does it suck? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I knew right when that happened, I was like, oh man, like now people. And then I had a kid that came by. He was from Canada. He was in town from Toronto. It was him and his dad, and I don't know who the other guy was, but they came by to say what's up to me, and they were like, can you please play Thunderstruck? I play for this team in Canada, the Lightning. That's what we skate out to. And I was like, I don't think I've ever played Thunderstruck at a game. I was like, I bet I can play it tonight. Well, then I played it, and like some people on headset were like, you're playing more Cowboys stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I forgot. Dude, I don't go to Cowboys games.
Yeah, and it's tough to keep track of,
There's so many
every
songs,
specific thing.
Yeah.
It's like, I know, like, what, DJ EJ starts Cowboys games off with Welcome to the Jungle, I believe.
Oh, is that what it is?
But
See,
Thunderstruck is definitely used, during a part of the game, but it's also like, it's a song.
I was
like if you played, who did the Stars play last
Ducks.
night? Yeah, if all of a sudden you play the DuckTales theme before actually beating them or something,
then,
like
yeah,
or I don't know, some other song with a duck in it, or
right,
the
Mighty Duck
Loving
Quack
California, whatever.
Yeah,
that would be a little different. But like, yeah, something like playing Thunderstruck just because EJ plays it at Cowboys games as well, like,
dude,
but then it becomes like, do you try to explain, like, some dude from Canada plays on a team called the Lightning, and
I was just trying to make a little kid's day, man.
Right.
I was just trying to like, hey, he played the song that we asked him to play.
Yeah.
How cool is that? That was all it was supposed to be.
Oh yeah.
There's not supposed to be any Cowboys relation. I forgot that they play Thunderstruck at every game. I don't go to every Cowboys game.
Right. But there's enough people on the crew that I know do some
Yes.
work with, the Cowboys, that it just becomes like,
they're like, I hate you for playing this song. And I was like,
sure,
well,
so many people do.
yeah, I was like, well, I'm sorry that the Cowboys have ruined the song Thunderstruck for everybody.
Right.
I was like,
Apparently. It's just so silly.
Yeah, so I'll try to play no songs that the Cowboys play at my next game.
Good luck.
Thank you. Let's talk about our king, Joe Mazzulla.
Yay.
Because I didn't think that I could love him anymore. Like I appreciated his nihilistic view on things, but when I heard about how angry he was about a former assistant trying to throw him off his game, I was like, all right.
That's not a friendship thing. Do you think it gives an edge, essentially?
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's, I mean, people would probably love to hear that.
Because I was, like I told y'all when he left, like talking to you during the session, not waiting to use the national anthem, like shit. So he came into the locker, the breached rules. So he came into the assistant coach's locker, forced through. That can easily be a psychological attack that knocks you off. He knew what he was doing.
Was it nice to hug him at least?
Dude,
I love him so much.
Hopefully everybody could hear that. I didn't realize that the basketballs and stuff were so loud. But basically, he was talking about, hey, like Charles Lee, who used to be his top assistant, now with the Hornets, came in and like tried to give him a hug and forced him to hug, and like he was pissed about it because he was trying to throw him off his game mentally, and he's talking about how he breached NBA rules, breaking in there and stuff, breaking into his own or his former locker room. I mean, dude.
And then being asked, even at the end, like, well, was it at least nice getting the hug? No.
And he meant it. Like, you could tell, like, he's like, no, seriously, we are not friends. And, like, honestly, I love that. Like, I hate how, I mean, I get it. Like, if it was you and me joining a rec basketball league, I'm not going to not talk to you during the whole rec basketball league just because we're playing against each other twice in 3 months or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, for this, I respect, like, hey, like, no, he's on the other team. He is the enemy. We are not cool until the off season. It was like Baker Mayfield talking about Mark Andrews. Won't talk to him at all during the season, even though they were roommates and played together at OU.
Yeah.
Like, I respect that. Like, hey, we're not friends, especially like playing against each other. Like, I think Mark Andrews and Baker, if they want to talk on like a week where they don't play each other, I think that's good.
Sure.
But, like, especially the day that you play them, like, yeah, no, you don't wave at each other. He said that. He was like, I'm not going to wave at you during the national anthem. None of that stuff.
I respect it, but I also acknowledge that it's silly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's silly.
Like, it's definitely silly, but, like, if you're a competitor and all that, I get it.
But it's also, like, very, like he's the king of, hey, we're all going to die eventually.
Yeah.
But, like, if even that being the case, wouldn't that make you more likely to say hi to him when you do see him, even if you're not?
I guess if you're
playing each other.
I guess if you're still going to be locked in and all that, it's like, hey, well, I've got the job. I'm going to maximize it for everything it's got. I'm going to try to get as many wins, as much money, as much fulfillment, whatever. And
True.
I feel like this is how I have to be at my best to do the job.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what he thinks, or maybe he's just weird.
I think that's what he's thinking. I think you have like an insight to his brain, because that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't hug me till after the show is over.
All right. I was about to hug you, but now
I know.
I won't.
I could feel it.
Apparently,
and I wouldn't enjoy it.
No, me neither. I'm not even enjoying talking about it.
Mm-mm.
I'm pissed.
How wide can we get our eyes, like Joe?
We got Joe eyes.
Yeah.
Apparently, he has a fascination with the movie The Town.
Yes.
Which is one of my favorite movies.
It's a great movie.
Like, that's one of the few movies that I've watched more than like 20 times, I bet.
Oh, wow.
Like, I've watched it a lot. Like,
you are not messing around with your
No, I
fandom.
really, like, I love that whole movie. Like, I think, like, I would never do it myself, but I think that robbing banks and robbing is just so fascinating, especially the way that they pull it off with, like, the cool masks every time they pull up. And then, like, the scene where he's like, he goes to Jeremy Renner. He's like, hey, look, we're going to go hurt some people. I can't tell you about it. You can't ask any questions, but we're going to go mess some people up. And he just looks at me and goes, whose car are we taking? I was like, dude, yes. Like,
you pumped your fist every single time.
All 20 times I see it. When he says that, I pump my fist by myself at home while I watch it. And so his fascination with The Town got them asking on the Low podcast what part he would want to play if he was involved in a bank robbery.
What is your bank robbery crew role? Like, what can you, if we decide to form a bank robbery ring, what is your role going to be?
I want to plan the whole thing, like attention to detail, like assign people to, like, find the people that you know's personalities and characteristics work for each positioning that you need. Like, I think it's all about the preparation. Like, I think once you're in that moment, you have to rely on the preparation similar to a game. So I would like to be the guy that plans it and hires the people and sets it in motion, or the guy that has to have steady hands, control his breathing to execute the safe.
He definitely has thought that through.
A ton.
Like, I don't know if he's been asked the question before or if he was just waiting for the question, but, like, he answered that really quickly.
Oh, he was ready. Like, he knew exactly. Like, he had thought it through, which makes me want to know, what role would you want to take?
Oh, man.
If you were involved in a bank robbery?
I might have a chance as the getaway driver.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't trust myself to, like, execute much else, like, in the moment. I'd panic or I'd feel guilty about it and be like, guys, I'm sorry. I don't think I can do this.
Actually, you can take the money back. I'm really sorry. Can we just pretend?
I'm saying that all as an alibi.
Did you just rob a bank earlier? Is this your alibi?
I was wearing a Shippy mask.
Oh, my God. That's why you had that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I think I would be a getaway driver, too.
Yeah.
I think
like, that seems the most fun.
Oh,
because it's probably not your car, right?
No. And you probably get to switch cars at some point.
Yeah.
So you get to drive multiple cars.
Yeah. Where you get to, like, open someone's door forcefully and, like, take them out of their car.
Yeah.
And then you, like, throw them onto the street.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, that's my car.
And you're like, well, it's now mine now.
Yeah.
And then you take off with all the money.
And find a hot tub with your soulmate.
Yes. Yes.
Because you have all the money.
Because you have all the money and you now have your own hot tub. But no, I think the getaway driver would be the most fun. Because I don't think I could be the one that goes in there and is like threatening people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, even if I was wearing a Grubes mask, like, I just wouldn't feel right doing it, you know?
Yeah, or being the safe cracker or, whatever.
Dude, my hearing sucks.
Yeah, or doing, the big drill and stuff like that. I think they sometimes do. Maybe. Allegedly. I definitely don't know how any of it works.
Allegedly? Dude, your alibi is getting weaker and weaker.
No, it's not. It's getting better.
I don't think I could plan the whole thing at all.
I'm not a planner.
Me neither. Because, like, you got to know when the guards are going to be where.
Right.
You've got to know the shift change.
6:03:52 p.m.
What time the Brinks truck pulls up or whatever.
Yeah, the coordination, like, whew, man, Joe Mazzulla could do that.
Oh, my God.
He's a good coach.
That's basic. I mean, that's kind of what you do when you're coaching a basketball team.
Right.
You know, but you just have a 5-man crew at all times, and you're just trying to steal the basket.
Yes.
Right?
Something like that.
Something like that. But yeah, I don't think that I didn't think I could love him any more than I already did.
It just keeps getting better.
And he proves me wrong every week, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Joe Mazzulla. I hope we have some more great audio of him next week. I did want to talk about this real quick. Did you see that Jerry Seinfeld called into WFAN in New York to roast the sports teams?
No.
So basically, they were, let's see. It was Chris McMonagle and producer Paul Rosenberg, and they were taking shots at Seinfeld, basically claiming the season 8 episode, The Chicken Roaster, was one of the few good episodes, and Jerry from New York rang in, and it didn't take him long to figure out who they were talking to. And so Seinfeld called in and said, it doesn't bother me, I'm okay with it, talking about them saying that there was only 3 good episodes of Seinfeld. And so in return, he started to roast the New York Giants. And he said, look, we made 180 Seinfeld episodes, so we made 3 good ones. We're like the Giants, we're 3 in 177.
Okay.
And so he said he wasn't done there. He's a big Mets fan, and he started making fun of the Yankees as well. He said you can make a pretty good argument that this season was the most magical Mets season, not counting the 2 World Series wins. It was a chemistry and it was an energy and it was an emotional thing of guys that weren't supposed to be that good. I don't know what can beat that. Does winning with Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani, would that be as fun as this? As an adult, to be jumping up and down and screaming, what makes you jumping down and screaming as an adult? Nothing. And then he decided to take a shot at the most painful inning in probably Yankees history, asking the hosts, but tell me about the pain of the 5th inning. Tell me about that. I want to know, what did that feel like as a fan? And so they wouldn't relive it, and he kept harping on it. He said, no, I want to hear your pain. Your pain is my pleasure.
That does sound like a very Jerry Seinfeld thing to do.
Yeah. And then he noted that after the next day after that game, the Yankees' hats per block in Manhattan went from 6 to 0 in one day. And he said, as a Mets fan, that was a very thrilling moment. So how awesome would that be? Like, if you're, taking shots at, that used to happen at the Fan when I was there. Like, Jerry would call in randomly and be like, I'd be like on the phone, I'd be like, Ben Skin said, Jerry Jones is on the line. And they'd be like, oh, okay, we're going to take this call. And but he would always be like seriously upset. Sometimes he would call in like jokingly and just want to have fun with the guys.
Sure.
But Jerry Seinfeld calling in, like I don't know of too many more prominent guys you could get to call in just randomly to your sports talk show.
No, I was going to say that's about as good as you can get, especially in New York, like even more so.
It doesn't get more New York than that.
Very New York.
So I just wanted to make sure we knew that Jerry Seinfeld was listening to New York media. And now I want to take some time for some great breaking news that has to do with your mother.
Yes. So about 6 months ago, my mother was diagnosed with stage 3 ovarian cancer. She, in that time, has gone through 3 chemo treatments, then did some surgery, then did some more chemo treatments, and a couple days ago, she got the news that she is now cancer-free.
Dude!
So it's been a very weird 6 months personally, and I feel weird making it personal, but that's all I can really do because it's,
I mean, dude, it's
our lives. But, it definitely has been, an interesting time because, your parents typically kind of feel like they're invincible and, just my mom's always been there. She's always, feel like I've always lived within 15 to 30 miles of her, usually, and at times less. Like, there have been 2 separate times where I've lived within a mile of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've both always been there. And my mom, was a stay-at-home mom while we were growing up. And so, she was the one taking us to school every day, picking us up, taking us wherever, practices or whatever, keeping everything, good around the house, making sure everything's getting done. Like, she's Superwoman. And even through all that, through all the stuff the last 6 months, like, she still, more often than not, tended to be the one checking in on each of us kids, making sure that everything's good with us. And, saying, like, I'll be as honest as, about everything as I can be, but don't worry about me, essentially, where it's like, no, you're our mom. Like, we finally get a chance to, like, dote on you or help you out. And she's like, no, like, I got this. Like, your dad's good with taking me to the, chemo treatments, or, we go out of town to, kind of get away from everything and kind of chill out or whatever. But, like, don't worry about me, essentially. And it's like, well, how can we not?
Yeah.
But that's just the type of mom and person she is. And so it has been just really, it was more emotional than I expected it to be on Friday when she let us know, because for pretty much the whole time, like I said, she's pretty much, she's kept us up to date where, after each treatment, she, like, never seemed to have any side effects. She felt great. She would be, like, cleaning the house, like, the next day. Just basically no side effects from anything. Never felt bad, all things considered. And so there was always the optimism of, okay, we feel like the numbers are going to come out pretty good whenever they check, and they generally did, and all that. But, like, the official news saying cancer-free, like, it was definitely some tears were shed and all that. And so it's just definitely been really gratifying. And do want to give a huge shout out to UT Southwestern. That's where she was treated. That's, them and the Ebarrow Medical Center. Her doctor, Dr. Carter, I believe, was the one that kind of helped get things moving, because my mom just had some really minor symptoms that, she's not the type that ever is like, I've got a little bit of a cough, I'm calling her doctor about that. She generally takes care of herself that way. But she noticed there was, like, just a little bit of bloating, and she's a small woman. She's 5'1", 95 pounds. So even, like, a difference of a couple pounds, like, she is consistently within, like, a pound range in her weight.
Mm-hmm.
And she was up by, like, 3 pounds. And that was enough for her doctor to, after doing a little bit of, checking and all that, exam, was like, we need to get you in to get checked. And sure enough, they found saw that there was cancer and all that. And just, so, I guess if you do notice anything that is unusual, it doesn't mean it's cancer. But, definitely pay more attention to that stuff if you can, because you never know what might come of it.
Yeah.
And being able to catch it sooner, obviously, like I said, with her, it was stage 3, which is still serious for ovarian cancer, but she had a way better chance than if she had waited or been like, maybe I'll go to the doctor if it still persists after a little while, or no, I just don't have time. Like, she could tell enough about herself that something was going on. So all that to say, just very, very thankful that, she's cancer-free. There is always a chance with ovarian cancer. Apparently it's pretty aggressive in trying to come back, but she's doing treatments every 3 weeks, and all that to hopefully keep it at bay and just keep it gone totally. But just very, very thankful. And she is a wonderful woman, and just very glad that, at least for now, things are looking up.
Yeah.
So,
dude, that's awesome.
I'm very happy.
Good. Yeah. No, when I saw the news, like, I was so excited and so happy for y'all too. Like, I've been thinking about y'all for a long time. Like, since you told me about it, like, I was like, damn, man. Like, I was like, no, you don't want to see anybody go through that, obviously, but especially like your best friend's mom, like, going through that. Like, so I was very, very excited to see that. So
yeah. So for anyone, if I have acted weird at times or whatever, it's not always just because of my personality. For the last 6 months, it could be because I was trying to sort through emotions and stuff. But like I said, thankfully, my mom being such a rock of the family, like, after a while, it just kind of became, well, if she's so optimistic, then why should I be freaking out? And it did help. And so, she just is such a strong little woman.
Yeah.
It's just very, very thankful that it sounds like she'll be around for quite a while.
Hell yeah.
Because she's feisty like that.
She sure is. Well, yeah, dude. So happy to hear that, man.
Me too.
Let's talk about Red 1.
Okay.
Which we got to see last week. We got to go see that early. We went last Wednesday.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, man.
It was way better than I thought.
It was way better than I thought, too.
Like, because it's The Rock and Chris Evans and J.K. Simmons.
Yes.
And yeah, it was like J.K. Simmons is Santa, The Rock is his bodyguard basically.
Like, yeah.
And Chris Evans is like a, apparently incredible, like, dark web hacker, find anyone person.
Yep.
And I don't know how much we can say that, without giving too much of the plot away, but as ridiculous as the trailer made it seem, like, I remember, I think I mentioned it last week, me and Darcy went and saw a movie, and Red 1 was one of the trailers, and we both kind of looked at each other like, we're not going to watch that.
Yeah.
And then, we got an opportunity, you and I got the opportunity to go see the screener, and we're like, well, hell, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Maybe, we can have some popcorn, we can hang out, it's always good to hang out with Shippy and, just watch a movie. At the worst, we get to make fun of it the next week.
Or of the people sitting next to us.
Right. Oh, my gosh. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, like, I really think that Red 1 was fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'd watch it again anytime super soon, but, like, it's definitely rewatchable.
Oh, definitely. The only thing with me was it felt weird watching it on, like, November 12th or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Like, it was really early for a Christmas movie. But, I mean, it comes out when it comes out. Like,
right. And I was going to say, Christmas stuff is happening earlier and earlier, like, as someone that now goes to places like Hobby Lobby and TJ Maxx more than previously, now that I'm living with Darcy, I'm hearing Christmas music. We were hearing Christmas music 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think it was pretty much as soon as Halloween ended.
Yep.
They put on the Christmas music.
Dude, and there were some places, because, like, I too, I'm going to places like Target, At
Yes.
Home. I've never been to
Oh my
At
gosh,
Home before.
we were at home a couple days ago.
Dude, that place is crazy.
It rocks.
Yeah.
It's huge,
it's
too.
Giant, dude.
Yeah.
I was going in there for, like, what did I need? I needed a pillowcase.
Yeah.
And I went in At Home, and, like, dude, they had so many Halloween decorations because this was like a month ago now. There were so many Halloween decorations there, and like they already had some Thanksgiving and Christmas stuff out.
Yeah.
And like it took me a solid 15 minutes to find like the bedding aisles.
Right. And that place is huge. Like
ginormous.
I was gonna say Gordy, our friendly salesperson, you need to contact At Home and Hobby Lobby and all those places because me and Shippy are domesticated now.
Yep.
And we are spending probably more money than we'd like to on things that we never thought we'd be spending on. So
I did not know that decorations for a holiday could be so expensive.
Oh my gosh. Or decorations for anything or stuff that you can hang stuff from. Hangers and, wall mounts and all that. Like, it's a lot of stuff, dude.
It is a lot of stuff.
So Gordy, we need some sponsorship deals from them.
We need your help.
So, yeah, that and bars.
That and bars, and we'll be good.
We're good.
Do we want to get into the people around us at Red
Oh,
One?
my gosh. Yeah.
Because we rolled on the audio. We could save it for a bonus episode.
I think that'll be a bonus thing, but...
Basically, I sat next to, So on Grubes' side, you had some older people. I didn't look over because I was trying to keep myself together. But I was basically sitting next to these two ladies that were talking so loud. Like, they sat next to us. Like, we got in there early, and they sat next to us pretty much as soon as we sat down. They sat down next to us, and they were trying to talk to us, I think.
And then they kind of thankfully just talked to themselves after a moment.
But super loud, and they were talking about, like, going on dates and all this stuff. Well, I rolled on about 30 minutes of audio that just haven't had the chance to comb through it yet.
Yeah.
So we'll do that as some bonus content.
But yeah, it was a lot, and thankfully it stopped before the movie actually began.
Yeah.
But we were both very, very scared that we were going to have to move somewhere else,
or we weren't going to see the movie because I was ready to go. I was like, we couldn't comfortably talk. We were texting each other the whole time because we couldn't talk because it was just constant talking the whole time.
It was so distracting.
It sounded like the lady had been on about 10 dates in the last 3 days and none of them went well.
Oh man.
So yeah, we'll go through that audio. But one thing that did not disappoint at all was the Penguin series finale.
Yes.
We might spoil some stuff or
a little bit. We don't want to. I don't know. It's been a week.
It's been 2 weeks now.
Oh gosh.
Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
So I mean, if you haven't seen the Penguin, then I probably would skip the next couple minutes.
Yeah.
But basically, I thought it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best shows I've seen ever. The way that I can say it without spoiling it, the way that they basically make you forget that the Penguin is a villain, but then all of a sudden, like, they punch you in the face with like, yo, this guy is not a good guy, actually.
Right. Like he's only out for himself, even as much as he claims that he cares about certain people in his life.
Yeah.
He clearly doesn't.
He clearly does not care about anybody except for himself.
Yeah.
And he's very delusional in the whole thing. Like, he's still in his mind thinks that he's doing things for the right reason, no matter how bad they are. He has a reason for everything that he does.
Yeah, and that he deserves to be at the top and deserves so much more than, everything that he's got. And yeah, it's really good. And now it's, I guess, the question of, will there be a season 2? And some of it's going to be based on, I believe that the writer, the creator believes that she can come up with a compelling enough storyline.
Yeah.
But some of it's also going to be, will Colin Farrell willingly do the makeup again? Because even though they got it down from a 3-hour to 2-hour process, it's still pretty brutal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hope they find a way to do season 2 because even if it's not as good as season 1, there's still enough meat on the bone, I think, that they can do something with it.
Yeah.
And at the least it sounds like it's kind of going to be like a bridge to the next Batman movie, potentially.
Oh, that's what I think it's supposed to do. Is this is supposed to set up to the Batman 2.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's coming out next summer.
That sounds right. So, there's definitely some different angles, I guess, that it could take. So maybe it doesn't make sense to fully do a season 2, or at least maybe not till after the Batman 2.
Yeah.
But man, that was an awesome series.
Yeah, it was. I already miss it.
Yeah, like I might have to watch it again just because I know there's going to be stuff that either I missed or just being able to binge watch it is always a different experience. So I think I might have to do that.
And then I haven't watched it yet, but the Dune series just started on Sunday. So I'm going to watch that because I've seen both the Dunes. And I did text you. They're both on HBO.
Yes.
So if you want to watch the movies, and I don't know if it even matters if you watch the movies and the TV show, but I'm going to give the show a shot over the next couple of days.
Nice.
And hopefully it's as good as The Penguin.
Yeah. Well, at the least I'll try and get going on the Dune movies because I know that they're good.
Yeah, they're really good.
I just haven't sat down and watched it, so I just need to get better about watching movies consistently at home. Like, you still try to find a different routine or whatever, and sometimes just sit down and watch the damn thing.
Yeah, I get in a pretty good routine of like King of the Hill on TV, or I'll watch, what else do we watch? We watch all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, like
the Goldbergs. Have you ever seen that?
No, I've heard good things.
So yeah.
Like, I'll still watch, some random bunches of Impractical Jokers or whatever.
Oh, dude.
When it's like there's so much out there, it's like, why am I watching this? And it's because it's still fun, but it's like, I know that I'm missing out on stuff, in the time that I do have to watch TV. So you've inspired me. Hopefully.
All right. Well, I'm glad I finally...
Or maybe we're back in the same spot next week and I'm talking about how I didn't do any of that.
And I'll have an update on Dune Episode 1 if it was worth it.
Well, that sounds good to me.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for the Bart Starr and Gerald Laird episode.
Yes.
Thank you guys for tuning in. Once again, I'm Shippy.
I'm Grubes.
And we love you and appreciate you for joining us. Thank you to our production team, Yvonne and Ivy, for setting this whole thing up. Thanks to Stolen Water Media for having us, as always. And until next week, episode 16, we love you, and good luck out there to everyone.
Yeah.
I almost forgot.
I know. That would have been bad luck for everyone.
Yeah. Gotta have good luck.
I didn't rob a bank.
You did?
Didn't.
Okay. Sound like you said you did.
What?
This is a Stolen Water Media production.